Look here, Jebediah. Come on. Kill me. All right. It's one word. The Parliament of Papas. I think
that's
this
3 words.
Woo.
Hoodly who, dude.
Dude.
Hoodly ho. Hoodly ho. Oh my God.
That sounds like Bucky's. So all right.
That was Brack.
Wow. You do great voiceover, not great voices.
I don't do impersonations at all.
Yeah.
So does that make Charles Space Ghost?
No.
Oh,
No,
Kurt,
Charles is Zorak.
All right. Under the Parliament of Papas is the word libraries. And I think we're all going to land on the same side, but I think, Joe, you put this in. Where are you going, buddy?
Yeah, so this was a topic that was suggested, I think, by Kurt many moons ago.
Oh, maybe.
To talk about our stance on libraries in general.
Reading is for nerds. Next topic.
No, reading is for geeks. Next topic.
Personally, I think libraries are criminally underused.
Yes.
They're used by criminals all the time in prison, sir. That's like the 1 hour they get out of their cell.
You know what? This is weird. As much as it pains me, I bet per capita, prison libraries are used more than public libraries.
Probably.
I agree. Now that's a Parliament of Papas.
Now, I do wonder.
More libraries than we do.
I do wonder if prison libraries are still, hardback, paperback, or if they've gone more digital these days.
Good point.
Oh,
probably hardback, paperback.
I mean, you would think, but I'm sure there's the lighter prisons that people have more freedoms. Jail. I don't know though. I don't see a prison investing in the digital devices you would need that could easily get broken and shank somebody.
No, but they might allow controlled tablets that can be bought by the commissary or rented by the commissary.
Well, and they could be locked up to a desk or whatever. Like they could be only available in the library.
I saw a video on YouTube where they talked about getting, I think it was Game Boys that they got from prisons. And the Game Boys were provided because they had translucent cases so you could see inside them.
Oh.
I remember that model.
So that the prison authorities could make sure no contraband was being distributed, but they still had to get credits or whatever to use them or something to that effect. It was pretty interesting what was allowed.
Yeah.
But to Joe's point, criminally underused public libraries, 1,000%. Like, the fact that people don't just get a library card like they get a driver's license. Only it's easier. Just as a matter of course, you just have a library card is a little strange because it's such an amazing resource. There was a time you remember when Netflix did DVDs? DVDs, Joe, were these like round video discs.
Had a whole yeah.
They had VHSs at one point at libraries.
They probably still do. That's
Maybe
the other
even
part
some
of
laser discs.
Oh, I miss my laser disc.
Now
player.
you're speaking
All right.
center, Joe.
Yeah. But during the height of the Netflix disc rental end of things, libraries were the number 2 resource for renting discs.
Okay.
Past Netflix. It was a weird stat, but it made perfect sense because libraries have a pretty huge library and people still donate lots of media to libraries. And one of my favorite things is going to a library book sale, though. I love it.
Oh, you would love it here, man. We have a Friends of the Library group that the library obviously partners with, but they have at least twice a month a library sale. And I'm not really sure how that's working because there's only so many older books you can clear out to make room for
Sure.
newer. So I'm not sure how they have it that often, but yeah, my wife and kids go often enough to it. Kelsey says we've got one coming up in December. That's
Nice.
just called Christmas, and he's going to buy you those books. Don't worry about it. Hold them off your list. You're good. So yeah, man, when my kids were younger, and especially because we were broke, we made it a regular Wednesday night family outing to go to the local library because that they could get on a computer, and that computer had specific kid games that I wasn't going to get or have. Dude, we could even rent computer games, PC CD-ROMs.
Yep.
And that's the first time I played. It's a slime game. I forget what it's called. World of Goo. I got it from there. And it's one of the Sims games. That's when my kids started getting into Sims because we were able to do that. But they loved it. They loved being able to go and play on a computer at a certain age. And then they always wanted to go look for a book or two before they left. And they wanted 15, but we made it a book or two before they left. We would request. I got into more comics because they had the comic books you could get. It was great, and life has just taken us in a different direction. But all four of my children have grown up in the library. And here's the other thing, boys, are libraries only about books and media?
No.
What does yours offer?
So mine offers meeting rooms where people will go and do D&D and collector groups and whatnot. Mine also has a genealogy room where I would go and do genealogy research when I was heavy duty doing that. I think ours, I don't know if it still does, but also had a little theater where local art groups could go and perform. There's a lot. I mean, they would and ours has during the summer music out in the quad area that they have of our public library. It's not even big, but it's enough for like a 3 or 4 piece band or group or whatever.
Yeah.
So they do a lot. Like there's a lot. They do a lot more. And like for my kids, they grew up going to the public library to do story time because they would have somebody there reading stories to the kids and doing puppet shows. And it really is criminally underused. And that's part of the reason why we don't always get the latest books at libraries, because people don't go enough to warrant the cost increase for that. But it's still it's a magnificent resource. It just is.
Joe, what about yours? What do they offer besides media and books?
They'll have craft days where kids can come in and do crafts and stuff. And then I've talked about it a couple of times on the show, but I've integrated my library card with the Libby app and Hoopla. So now I can get them on, reserve them from my phone instead of even going. My wife just posted in here that Bob and Malachi want to join the kids Minecraft club at the library. And so there is a lot. Now our local library here, I say local, it's technically the town over, so I don't have a free library, but a lot of people have access to the library closest to them is free. But even if it's not free, it's generally not that expensive. I think ours, and my wife's in the chat, she can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's $50 a year for our library cards. And so, it's only 15 now, she said. So okay, it's way cheaper than I thought. So that's, just over $1 a month. That you're not going to find any streaming service that offers as large of a library at that price. So, yeah,
no pun intended.
All the puns.
I've always known that if I actually wrote a book and it was backed enough to do like a signing or something, it would be at my local library here in town. I would absolutely donate a few copies to the library, not out of arrogance, but out of support. I mean, if it's I have written a book and it's a self-published thing on Amazon. That one's not in the local library, but I'm talking about like, hey, I actually do something that gets notoriety and it matters. I want to bring some attention to the library. With that in mind, now ours offers a lot of the stuff you guys are talking about, the integrations, the community days, the readings. That they don't do the music, and they don't have a theater, but that's really cool. They offer workspaces, like free internet, and people legit. And I did it for a solid week when my internet was out at the old house, old house. That I went up there every day and sat at a table and plugged in my laptop and within reason, you can have some food and drink, but the reason was you better not spill and you better clean up stuff. And the first time it's out, but they supported people before the work from home movement really came to fruition in COVID. They supported people like me who were already working from home. They had a whole computer library at the time downstairs. I'm not sure where it is now. That was designed for people during the day to come in and start doing online resumes. They had resume writing classes.
Yep.
They had people that would help you. Those kind of things. More or less that computer lab was for adults to do work, like get jobs or learn, hey, can I do this online class so I can better myself, that kind of thing.
Yeah, there was a while, well, actually on my mission trip that I talked about earlier, where I didn't have a computer, and so but every week we'd go to the library and check email, send emails and stuff like that. And so, yeah, great resource all around.
Yeah. And in 2025, one of the plans that One EMS has
is to start a library.
Ooh.
No, that's way too much work, buddy. But it is to actually partner with the library to teach some community classes on CPR and EMTR. Like give people, we're getting funding because we're a 501c3. We're starting the process now to get grants and funding for 2025 to be able to pay for classes. And one of them will be hosted at the local library so people can come there and then they'll see us teaching and maybe get some more interest and some more information and those kind of things. And it's all going to be hopefully, because we haven't done it yet, we don't know, but it's hopefully going to be all covered under grants. And then the people who are involved will have a very low interest rate. Like you were talking about, Joe, that $50 a year. EMTR is one of the lowest entry levels that you can have in my field. And it's roughly now around $1,000 to $1,500 for the entire class. Very affordable for a skills-based class that gets you a job. We're actually going to, with our grants and whatnot, we're going to lower it even more. And you might ask, why is it not free? Because I have found out in my own personal experience, when I sign up for free and everything else I've ever tried to offer for free, no skin in the game is a phrase you used earlier, Kurt, about asking for jobs. Well, when somebody puts even $100 or $200, they don't really want to walk away from that. So when the going gets tough, they'll work through it. Versus free is like, I've signed up for a free class from Polaris, who makes Indian motorcycles, to become a non-certified mechanic-owned motorcycle. To be certified, I just have to pay for the test, and then I could work in their store if I wanted to. But I get all the same training. I'm just not going to be certified unless I pay for the test. I haven't done the first class because it's free and I can put it on my back burner easily. And that's the short.
Plus, you're trying to sell your motorcycle.
But yeah, I mean, I love libraries. I do hate that I'm not going as much as I used to. I could easily change that. I just don't, and that's on me. And I love that ours seems to be special. I know you and I, all of us have talked about this off and on Patreon in different episodes. Georgia, for Phil going backwards. I'm not going to talk about the education system in Georgia, but I am going to talk about the library system. It's 100% connected. And so no matter, you can be the poorest county and you can still get, if it's in the system, you can get the most current book from your most current author just requested, and within a week or so it's shipped down to where you are and you get it for that same 2 weeks as any other book that you check out. So you can absolutely get the resources of, downtown Atlanta, which has lots of taxpayer base, down into a county that has 10,000 people and almost no taxpayer base. And
it's pretty awesome that they'll ship it to you.
Ours will do that too.
They don't ship it to you. They ship it to the library.
They ship it to the library. You pick it up there.
But still, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, same kind of principle. I just want to be clear on
ours does that too. In the state of New Hampshire library system is all interconnected. Again, they're all independent, but they have a loaning program. So they just loan resources between, and it's really easy to do.
So isn't the slogan "Live free and check out"? Oh, his face, podcasters. His face on that one. Because I know what the slogan is. That's the way I
Yeah.
really make the joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.